Hey guys, Tiffany coming at you with a little tutorial or work with me, whatever, just designing the cover of this traveler's notebook. Um, this is my first time doing a voiceover for a video, so hopefully that turns out okay. And this is also me testing out a new situation. I kind of redid my craft space over the weekend to try to be able to better film what I'm doing. There are a few times where I'm a little out of the window pane, so I apologize for that. Anyway, I went ahead and gessoed the front of it. As you saw, it was a craft cover before. And then I pulled out some scraps and like packaging type things that I've saved to use in projects like this, as well as some stamps and some paints and just other things that I thought I might use while designing the cover of this notebook. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with some paint, and I have the Jane Davenport watercolor set. This one that I'm using currently is the Bright set, and you can get these from Michaels. They are $30 regular price, so I would definitely recommend using a coupon. They almost always have 40% off, and sometimes they have a better deal. So just look out for that. So I'm going ahead and getting some blue paints splashed onto the cover. The right side is going to be the cover of the book. And I'm just using a variety of blues. And the watercolor doesn't really react that well to the cover of this, to be honest, because um, gesso kind of like blocks the absorption. So in a watercolor situation, you want a little bit of puddling and it just doesn't react the same, but we're able to get the color down and do something and make it work, so that's good. And then I'm just rinsing my brush because we're going to go ahead and grab some purple colors and move on to the back and get some of the different purple variations along the back cover of the book. I'm hoping to be able to get some more videos to you guys on a more regular basis, hopefully of things like this now that I've got this set up. But if you guys have any suggestions on how to record overhead, please let me know, because it's been a pain in the butt trying to figure out how to get the camera secured overhead and not tipping over and not having my big head in the view. But this somewhat works, so I'm going to use this until I find something better. So added some more blue to the background, and then just picking up some of the excess water that's still sitting there. And then the Brights palette does not have an orange, so I grabbed the Neutrals palette. It's also Jane Davenport. These are the two watercolor palettes that she has. The neutral palette has orange, so it's like the Bright is a cool tone palette and the Neutrals is a warm tone palette. So I'm just putting some orange there because, orange and blue, they look nice together. Alright, so then we're done with those paints for a little while, and then I'm going to go ahead and dry that and skip all that for you guys. And then I'm kind of looking through my stamps. You can see a bunch of other supplies got added to the desk. I just grabbed some stamp sets. I'm sorry, some stamp pads. This is the Jane Davenport face stamps. These are also at Michael's. All her line is at Michael's if you're in the US and Canada. And I'm using black StazOn ink and inking her up and stamping her onto the cover. Her stamp sets go for about $5.99, I think. And I'm in Chicago, so I don't know if you guys might find a cheaper price somewhere else, or if you're just going to end up, paying less taxes than ridiculous Chicago taxes. Grabbed another face, and this one's going to go onto the back cover. And I kind of debated if I wanted to block her from coming over into the front, but then I didn't care if part of her ear or something came over to the front cover. And this is where I apologize because I'm a little bit out of screen here. I thought I had my mat set up, and it looks like I'm actually pulled off the mat, so that's probably my fault. And then I'm pulling these star stamps. These are Dina Wakley stamps. And I'm pulling like a little three. It's like three little stars. And I'm using the archival ink in navy blue. And then I stamp that on the front cover. And then I kind of decide after I stamp it in navy blue that I do not like the navy blue. I was thinking navy blue because of how much blue is in the cover, and I thought it might just kind of, I don't know, blend in better. But I went ahead and grabbed the black and stamped it a few other places. I didn't bother covering that navy blue, I just left it navy. But it doesn't bother me now. Like looking at the cover, I'm okay with it. I just didn't like it at the time. And it's funny because those stamps on the back that I did, they are totally covered. Which is fine. Sometimes it happens. You do stuff and then you end up covering it. So then I'm pulling off the large star from the stamp set, and it's just it's kind of what attracted me to this set. And it's just a large star with some messy stripes running through it. So I'm inking that up also with the black StazOn ink. And I'm going to do that twice. Once on the cover, and then once kind of falling off of the back cover. And my inspiration for this book came actually over the weekend. And here I'm taking the this feather stamp that I have, and I did it. I believe I did it in the blue first. Yes, went in with the blue and stamped that a few times. And so over the weekend they had the Women's March, and then I went and saw the movie Hidden Figures, and all of those things combined were just I was just so filled with the woman spirit and so inspired in awe of it that I wanted to do something creatively right away before that like feeling left, you know? And so that's where this cover came from. I actually would really love to get some like original imagery of the women that the movie Hidden Figures is about and maybe get like a photograph and put them on here. I might do that. If I do, I'll share a picture on my Instagram if you guys want to follow me over there. So I was playing with some scraps of paper, which I'll come back to eventually. This is an equality sticker that I got from probably a Pride Parade. And I'm just kind of messing around, figuring out where I want that, and a few other pieces that I kind of wanted to use. And like I said, that was a sticker, but I could not get the backing off after I cut off the little easy area, so I just glued it on. I gave up. I played with it for about 10 minutes and decided to give up and go ahead and just glue it on. And then I'll go ahead and start gluing the strips. And I'm not sure which one I start with. Okay, so I'm starting with this larger one, which is, it's just on computer paper. It's not any special paper. And I grabbed that watercolor palette again, and I'm going to add some color to it. And the paper, it just says I love you repeatedly in like a small scripty font. So I'm just adding some pinks and purples, and there are a large variety of pinks in that palette, as you can see from the little swatch that's in there. So I just go ahead and add a bunch of those colors across the paper, just so it's not stark white. And it wasn't taking the watercolor too well since it's just some copy paper, but it actually looks nice. And then I'm just going ahead and using the Mod Podge to glue that down. And these little Mod Podges, you can get these from Michaels. It's a little set, just like a tiny little, maybe like 2-ounce bottle. And I got that one because they have different finishes. So I just kind of wanted to test the finishes and see the difference between them. And this is a glossy finish. And then I'm grabbing that other scrap of paper, which is like the little perforated edge off a 12 by 12 sheet. And it just says, love the life you live the life you love. And it's kind of also in a repeat pattern. So just going that down. I was kind of fussing with that Ariel and I couldn't figure out where I wanted her. So I grabbed this stamp by, another stamp by Jane Davenport. This is like the large face. Grab that, put that down on the front cover. And then I have this little cutout piece of lips that you'll see here, kind of. It's a little off the screen, I apologize. But I got this in order. I ordered a melt lipstick and they sent me a few of those little pieces. And so rather than having the stamped lips, I put these lips. They were a little bigger and I like the bold color and the piercing. So once I get that down, I kind of fuss around with where I want the Ariel to go again. And then I finally figure out a good place for her and get her glued down with the Mod Podge. Then I have this little square, and it's just got 9 little squares inside that square of different colors, and I get that laid down. And this, I leave it there, but I don't really like it, and I still kind of don't like it, and I think it's because it just is so like on top of everything. It looks like an afterthought. I don't really care for it. Here I'm going in with the Jane Davenport mermaid markers, and I'm adding some color to the 2 smaller stamps. I'm adding some hair to that one on the front cover, and then I will color their eyes and their lips with the mermaid markers. These are really cool too, and to be honest, they're 40 bucks. I used the coupon, of course, and originally I kind of thought they were a bit expensive, but if you look at how much those water brush costs without any ink in them, they're about $10 a piece. So after thinking about that, I was okay with the price. I grabbed the neutrals palette again because the girl on the back cover, she's kind of in a white spot in the book. So I'm just adding a really pale, peachy skin tone to her so that she's not just a white behind her. To where the girl on the front cover, she's got the purple and orange stripes running through her face. So she's not so plain. And once again, I apologize because that's a little off the screen. Going back in with the mermaid markers, giving the girl in front cover purple lips, dark purple lips. Going back in with the feather stamp, putting the black stays on ink, and I'm going to go over this equality sticker here, and I don't mind the yellow color, but it's just really bold, so I'm kind of trying to get it to go to the background a little bit, so I just kind of go over that, and I feel a little better about that. Grabbing a Sharpie pen and edging the paper, the live the life you create or whatever, little scrap of paper. And I believe I do it around the I love you and even Ariel a little bit. I don't know if you'll see that. Yeah, here we go. And then right after this, I also grab a white Pitt pen and give some detail to the girl's lips, the stamped girl's lips. So right here I'm going over Ariel's hair. Same thing with the yellow. The orange was just really bold. So I kind of went over with the star stamp, and it's just actually an outline of a star, and it's got little speckles in it. And I stamped that. I'm just checking how the book is starting to look and folding it into place because it's a little warpish. Warpish, making up my own words. So here I'm just using a Sharpie pen again, and I'm just doing like a scribble font right on the top of the front cover, and I'm writing volume 1. I'm really only going to write VOL 1. Alright, so here I am adding more Mod Podge to the entire cover, and I figured, with all the watercolor that it would be better to do that than to leave it and possibly have something ruin it, or for it to ruin something if I was carrying it with me. For example, my bag or the driver's notebook itself. So I'm just securing all that. And then I'm back with the Sharpie pen, and I'm writing the word equality in a few places on the book. Like I said, this This came from a very strong Women's Weekend. You know, with the Women's March on Washington. I live in Chicago. We had a pretty large march here, all over the country, all over the world, and then going to see Hidden Figures, which was just so woman positive. And here's the finished product. I really like the way it came out. I still don't really like that square, so I might change that up, but we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to have some more videos for you soon. Take care. Bye.